What makes a big ocean animal a sea monster? It's not just about how they look. Is it their razor-sharp teeth, long poisonous tentacles? Or maybe it's a species we've never seen before? From massive sharks to incredibly long worms, here are the 15 biggest sea monsters ever filmed or discovered. Number 15. Deep sea crocodiles. At over 30 feet long and weighing in at 3 tons, these deadly prehistoric crocodiles evolved from their land-living ancestors to become fast-swimming predators of the deep blue sea. They adapted their limbs into flippers, streamlined their bodies, and formed fluke tails to help them move more powerfully through the water. The deep-sea crocodiles made their first steps into the water during a long semi-aquatic phase. Fossil evidence suggests that their diet consisted of large fish, squid, and even smaller marine reptiles, making them apex predators of their time. Their powerful jaws and sharp teeth were perfectly designed for gripping slippery prey, while their streamlined bodies allowed them to ambush with incredible speed. Some species even developed unique adaptations, such as elongated snouts, to specialize in hunting specific types of prey. These crocodiles were not only efficient hunters but also highly adaptable, thriving in a variety of marine environments, from shallow coastal waters to deeper open seas. Their ability to dominate the Jurassic seas is a testament to their evolutionary success, as they filled ecological niches similar to modern-day sharks and orcas. The discovery of well-preserved fossils has provided scientists with valuable insights into their anatomy and behavior, shedding light on how they transitioned from land to sea. Their ear canals became markedly fatter and smaller, and over time mimicked the shape and senses of whales and dolphins to dominate Jurassic seas. New research was found by experts from the University of Edinburgh, who discovered that they adapted a part of the inner ear responsible for balance and equilibrium, gradually adjusting to their new ocean home 170 million years ago. Number 14. Ancient amphibious whale. The whales we know today look nothing like they did millions of years ago. Instead, today's whales and dolphins evolved 50 million years ago from small four-legged animals with hooves. Crazy, right? Rather than being one of the largest creatures on Earth as they are now, they came from creatures that were the size of an average dog. Scientists had known that the whale's body shape had changed over the years, making the creatures better adapted to life in the water. However, they didn't know how the creature had moved from South Asia to South America. Early whale ancestors were not fully aerodynamic like whales are today. The particularly interesting missing link discovered in India suggests that the last whale ancestors took to the waters in times of danger but came onto land to give birth and eat. They had long toes that were mostly webbed, meaning they moved a lot like today's otters, and that's probably how they crossed the Atlantic Ocean. Researchers guessed that if a giant otter-type whale still existed today, it would have to swim a long way to migrate. But at that time in Earth's history, the distance between Africa and South America was 2 times shorter, and the currents were strong. Number 13. The Bootlace Worm. Scuba divers have become accustomed to tales of monster sea worms, but an example discovered recently off Western Australia seems to have changed the game for such sightings. With an estimated length greater than any other known animal, at around 45 meters, a worm bigger than an animal? Yeah, it's true. The gelatinous bootlace worm, which in a nutshell is a string of free-swimming hydrozoans, each with the ability to clone itself, was discovered during a month-long expedition. The bootlace worm, also known as ribbon worms or proboscis worms, is usually around 15 to 50 feet in length but can be up to 180 feet long. When this super-long worm is irritated, it releases large amounts of thick mucus that's poisonous and can paralyze and kill crustaceans and other small sea creatures, though it's not so dangerous for mammals. Today, similar neurotoxins extracted from snakes, spiders, and cone shells are used in pharmaceuticals, pharmacological tools, biotechnology, and as agricultural insecticides. It's totally possible that the toxins from the bootlace worm can also be used in similar ways. Yay, science! Number 12. The Chronosaurus. Pliosaurs, aka the Chronosaurus, were a fearsome family of marine reptiles characterized by their massive heads, short necks, and relatively broad flippers, as opposed to their close cousins, the plesiosaurs, which had smaller heads, longer necks, and more streamlined torsos. Measuring 33 feet from snout to tail and weighing in the neighborhood of 7 to 10 tons, Chronosaurs were on the upper end of the pliosaur size scale. Originally discovered near Queensland, Australia, in the 1920s, there have since been several Chronosaurus fossils found in the rocks of the Great Artesian Basin, some almost 200 million years old. The Chronosaurus's jaws contained rows of large conical teeth, the biggest of which were over 10 inches long, making it a fierce predator. Remains of its stomach contents indicated it fed on turtles and other smaller marine reptiles. The giant teeth of the Chronosaurus enabled it to crush the shells of the huge shellfish that lived in the same sea, and its sheer size meant that it could have eaten just about anything it wanted. Because of these terrifying qualities, it was named by Queensland paleontologist Heber Longman after the god Kronos, a mythical Greek god so horrible, the story goes, he ate his own children. Number 11. Magnapena Squid. Magnapena squids are one of the deep sea's more ethereal, unusual creatures. Little is known of these squids, as very few have ever been captured, although over the last decade, with the increased usage of remotely operated vehicles, more and more video is emerging of these strange animals. Their fins are up to 90% of the length of their body, and they have ridiculously long arms. As you can see, the squid often holds some of its arms at a 90-degree angle from the side of its body, which gives it the appearance of having elbows. This unique posture has baffled scientists, as it is unlike anything seen in other squid species and may serve a specific, yet unknown, purpose. The squid's translucent body and delicate, ribbon-like tentacles make it almost invisible in the deep ocean, where light is scarce. Magnapena squids are typically found at depths of 7,000 to 15,000 feet, where the pressure is immense and the temperature is near freezing. Their ability to survive in such extreme conditions highlights the incredible adaptability of deep-sea creatures. Some researchers speculate that the squid's long tentacles may also serve as sensory tools, helping it detect prey or navigate its dark environment. Despite their ghostly appearance, these squids are harmless to humans and remain one of the most mysterious inhabitants of the deep sea. The Magnapena squid, sometimes referred to as the bigfin or long-arm squid, is around 26 feet in length with thin, elastic tentacles thought to be between 15 to 20 times larger than the squid's body. Yikes, that's a lot. Very little is known about the feeding behavior of these squid, although scientists believe that they feed by dragging their arms and tentacles along the seafloor, grabbing organisms off the floor. But they may use a simple trapping technique, waiting for prey to bump into their super long arms. Magnapena squids were first discovered in 1907, but it wasn't until 1988 that the first footage was filmed off the coast of Brazil. Now it's time for today's topic. A deep-sea diver exploring the frigid waters of the Norwegian Sea for his vlog has sparked global intrigue after unknowingly capturing footage of an unidentified sea creature. The diver, who was documenting marine life near an underwater ridge, had no idea his camera had recorded something extraordinary until he reviewed the footage later that evening. The video shows a shadowy figure emerging from the deep, its pale, elongated face and large, reflective eyes staring directly at the camera. The creature's movements were slow and deliberate, blending into the dark, icy waters before vanishing into the abyss. The diver, initially dismissing the footage as a trick of the light, was left speechless after closer inspection. Marine biologists and oceanographers are divided. Some suggest it could be a rare, deep-dwelling species yet to be discovered, while others argue it might be a hoax designed to gain attention. Skeptics point to the lack of additional evidence, but supporters argue that the vast, unexplored corners of the ocean could easily hide creatures we've never seen before. Whether real or fabricated, the footage has reignited debates about the mysteries of the deep sea, leaving the world to wonder what else might be lurking in the hidden corners of our oceans. Number 10. Giant manta rays. The giant manta ray is the largest ray and one of the largest fishes in the world, reaching widths of up to 29 feet and weighing over 5,000 pounds. Manta rays are much larger than any other ray species. For many decades, there was only one known species of manta, but scientists recently divided that species into two: the giant manta ray, which is a more oceanic species, and the reef manta ray, which is more coastal in nature. Similar to the largest fishes, whale shark and basking shark, and the largest mammals, blue whale, they also eat tiny plankton. They constantly swim along with their large mouths open, drinking in plankton and other small food. To aid in this strategy, giant mantas have specialized flaps known as cephalic lobes, which help direct more water and food into their mouths. These rays are filter feeders, meaning they rely on the movement of water to push food into their mouths, making their constant swimming essential for survival. Despite their massive size, they are incredibly graceful swimmers, using their large, wing-like pectoral fins to glide effortlessly through the water. Giant manta rays are also known for their curious and social behavior, often approaching divers and snorkelers, seemingly unafraid of human presence. They are frequently seen leaping out of the water in spectacular breaches, a behavior that scientists believe may be a form of communication or a way to remove parasites. Unfortunately, these gentle giants are threatened by overfishing and accidental entanglement in fishing gear, as well as the demand for their gill plates in traditional medicine. Conservation efforts are underway to protect manta rays, including the establishment of marine protected areas and international trade regulations. These giant manta rays are found worldwide in tropical, subtropical, and temperate waters and are commonly seen offshore in oceanic waters and near productive coastlines. Giant mantas are known to undergo long migrations and may visit colder waters for short periods of the year, and they can dive over 3,000 feet. Did you know? Giant manta rays have the biggest brains of any fish studied so far. They use their brain power to learn about their environment, exercise their memory, distinguish between objects, and even recognize themselves in the mirror. But can they take a selfie? Number 9. The Ichthyossaur. In 2016, amateur fossil hunter Paul de la Salle was walking the beach in Somerset, in the southwest of England, when he found a large fossil, Greek for fish lizard. He believed it belonged to an ichthyossaur, a dolphin-shaped carnivorous marine reptile with a long, toothy snout that lived in the oceans during the age of the dinosaurs. He continued to search the area, discovering more pieces of the fossil, which when fit together make up a 3.2-foot section of jawbone. The bones were dated to 205 million years ago, and it was estimated that in life, the ichthyossaur would have been up to 85 feet long. This discovery made headlines, as it suggested that ichthyosaurs could grow even larger than previously thought, rivaling modern-day blue whales in size. The jawbone size and structure indicated that this particular ichthyossaur was likely a top predator, capable of hunting large prey such as squid and other marine reptiles. Fossil evidence shows that ichthyosaurs were highly adapted to life in the water, with streamlined bodies and powerful tails that allowed them to swim at high speeds. They also had large eyes, some of the largest in the animal kingdom, which helped them see in the dim light of deep ocean waters. Their teeth were sharp and conical, perfect for gripping slippery prey, and some species even had specialized teeth for crushing shells. The ichthyosaur's evolutionary success is evident in the diversity of species that existed, ranging from small, agile hunters to massive giants like the one discovered in Somerset. However, their extinction remains a mystery, with theories ranging from climate change to competition with other marine predators. The discovery of fossils like this one continues to shed light on the fascinating lives of these ancient sea reptiles and their role in prehistoric ecosystems. Ichthyosaurs appeared during the start of the Triassic, some 250 million years ago, and at their height, they filled many niches, from ambush predator to suction feeder. One of the most successful animals in the ocean. But about 90 million years ago, almost 25 million years before the dinosaurs disappeared, the massive fish lizard died out. Researchers are still trying to understand what drove these sea reptiles to extinction. Number 8. The Alasmosaurus. Ever heard about the monster that lives in Loch Ness, a freshwater lake in Scotland? A monster with the very cute nickname, Nessie? Well, some say that monster is the Alasmosaurus. At close to 50 feet long, this long-necked reptile was one of the biggest plesiosaurs to ever exist, and its neck is about half the length of its entire body, supported by a whopping 71 vertebrae. Your typical plesiosaur had 60 vertebrae. They weren't equipped with gills, though, like fish and sharks, and couldn't live below water 24 hours a day. But it's possible that a single gulp of air could fuel this marine reptile for 10 to 20 minutes. Alasmosaurus was a slow swimmer, relying on its 4 paddle-like flippers to glide through the water in search of prey. Its diet likely consisted of small fish and squid, which it could snatch up with its sharp, interlocking teeth. The long neck may have allowed it to sneak up on prey from below, keeping its body hidden while its head darted forward to strike. Fossil evidence suggests that Alasmosaurus lived in warm, shallow seas, where it could easily surface for air and hunt in nutrient-rich waters. Despite its size, it was vulnerable to larger predators like mosasaurs, which shared its marine habitat during the late Cretaceous period. In the 1800s, shortly after the end of the Civil War, a military doctor in western Kansas discovered a fossil of the giant reptile. And if you're wondering how a giant marine reptile ended up in landlocked Kansas, remember, the American West was covered by a shallow body of water, the Western Interior Sea, during the late Cretaceous period over 65 million years ago. So how did the Alasmosaurus end up in Scotland? Judging by possible hoax photographs, you could say that the Loch Ness monster looks a lot like the Alasmosaurus. Some believers insist that a population of these epic reptiles has managed to survive in the northern reaches of Scotland. Who can say for real? We know now, because of the Alasmosaurus's extra-long neck, that this marine reptile was incapable of holding its neck out of the water, making it pretty tough to snap a great photo. Number 7. The Greenland Shark. Greenland sharks are now the longest-living vertebrates known on Earth, scientists say. Researchers determined the ages of 28 of the animals and estimated that one female was about 400 years old. Now that's old. Native to the North Atlantic and Arctic waters around Greenland, Canada, and Iceland, while shark diversity is low in this region, species that live there can grow to enormous sizes, and Greenland sharks can too, reaching over 22 feet in length and weighing over a ton easily. This makes them the second largest carnivorous shark after the white shark. While known to be scavengers, they're also opportunistic predators and will ambush prey to conserve energy. They tend to take a craftier approach, sneaking up on prey while they sleep. There have also been reports of Greenland sharks attacking caribou as they drink from the banks of the river. An entire reindeer, including the antlers, was discovered in the stomach contents of one individual, while the remains of a polar bear have been found in others. Healthy appetites, indeed, but Greenland sharks are slow. When you live in icy cold waters, conserving energy is vital to the shark's survival. Cruising at around 1 foot per second, Greenland sharks are the slowest sharks in the world. Interesting fact, because of their long life, Greenland sharks may still be recovering from being overfished before World War II. The shark's livers were once used for machine oil, but not anymore. A synthetic alternative was found, and the Greenland shark was free to swim around unharmed, just very, very slowly. Number 6. Lion's mane jellyfish. The lion's mane jellyfish cannot be missed in the open ocean, with tentacles up to 120 feet long, even rivaling in size the blue whale, the largest animal in the world. Most lion's mane jellyfish can be found in the Arctic and North Pacific Ocean, from Alaska to Washington, where the waters are cool. Its lion's mane of long, hair-like tentacles hanging from the underside of its bell-shaped body is the inspiration behind the name. Of course, this unusual creature's mouth is situated on the bell's underside, surrounded by tentacles that are divided into 8 clusters of up to 150 tentacles each. These tentacles are equipped with deadly poison and a powerful sting. Despite their intimidating size and venomous tentacles, lion's mane jellyfish are not aggressive and typically only sting in self-defense. Their stings, while painful to humans, are rarely fatal and can often be treated with basic first aid. The jellyfish's bell can grow up to 7 feet in diameter, making it one of the largest jellyfish species in the world. They play an important role in the marine ecosystem, serving as both predator and prey. Sea turtles and certain species of fish are known to feed on them. Additionally, small fish often seek shelter among the jellyfish's tentacles, using them as protection from larger predators. The lion's mane jellyfish feasts on small fish, tiny crustaceans, and even other jellyfish to satisfy its appetite. And they never stop swimming. Lion's mane jellyfish are continual swimmers and can cover huge distances, but most prefer to swim solo, although large swarms of jellyfish occasionally happen when storms and tides are active. And they can glow. The lion's mane jellyfish also possesses bioluminescent abilities, meaning it's able to produce its own light and glow in the dark underwater. Shine on, jellyfish, shine on. Number 5. The Megalodon. The next on our list is a real superstar. Not only is the Megalodon, or Meg, the biggest shark in the world, but it's also one of the largest fish to have ever existed. Estimates suggest it grew to between 40 to 60 feet in length, 3 times longer than the largest recorded great white shark. The earliest Megalodon fossils date back to 20 million years ago. For the next 13 million years, this enormous shark dominated the ocean. Without a complete Megalodon skeleton, though, these figures are based on the size of the animal's humongous teeth, which can reach a whopping 7 inches long. In fact, the word Megalodon simply means large tooth. Scientists believe the Megalodon's bite force was one of the strongest in history, capable of crushing bones and even the skulls of its prey. Fossil evidence suggests that megalodons preferred warm, shallow waters, which were abundant with their favorite prey, including early whales. Their extinction, which occurred around 3.6 million years ago, is thought to have been caused by a combination of cooling ocean temperatures and competition with smaller, faster predators like the great white shark. Despite their extinction, megalodon teeth are still frequently found in fossil beds, particularly in places like North and South Carolina, making them a favorite among fossil hunters. These teeth provide valuable insights into the diet and behavior of this prehistoric predator, as well as the ecosystems it once ruled. With its large, serrated teeth, the Meg was definitely a carnivore, chowing down on whales and large fish, and probably other sharks. When you're that big, you need to eat a lot of food. This enormous shark had a giant mouth too. It's estimated that its jaw would span up to 10 feet wide, easily big enough to swallow 2 adult people side by side. Crunch. This incredible beast is also Hollywood's box office gold. The 2018 science fiction film The Meg grossed over $500 million worldwide. And yes, a sequel is definitely in the works. Number 4. The whale shark. Whale sharks are gorgeous, peaceful, slow-moving filter feeders, which can grow up to 40 feet in length and weigh 20 tons, with a lifespan that's estimated to be 70 to 100 years old. And although whale sharks have about 3,000 tiny teeth, less than an inch long, they don't use them much. The biggest fish in the sea is a slow-moving, docile giant, feeding by filtering plankton, plus squid, krill, and small fish, into its huge mouth. Sometimes, a whale shark will lazily swim with its mouth wide open, a low-energy feeding technique that allows the gentle giant to swallow any food items that might be in its path. But when it sees a dense cluster of delicious little morsels, the animal creates suction by quickly opening and closing its jaws, pulling dinner into its carnivorous mouth. Generally, whale sharks, which are tropical and subtropical fish, will move around a lot. In 3 years, A single whale shark can travel 8,000 miles or more. Huge schools of whale sharks visit exotic locations like the Galapagos Islands and the Yucatan Peninsula every summer to gorge on plankton. Still, their total life expectancy is unknown. According to experts, this big fish probably dies in its 60s. Others speculate that whale sharks can live to be 100 or even 150 years old. And while it's not known what the global whale shark population is, the species is considered endangered. In 2009, experts discovered what's believed to be the smallest living whale shark, only 15 inches long. The baby whale shark was found on a beach in the Philippines. Oh, that's adorable. Number 3. Giant oarfish. The giant oarfish, which has been known to reach up to a whopping 110 feet long and weigh 600 pounds, is considered a deep-sea fish. However, occasionally the slender beast is found washed ashore dead on beaches. Let's take a look at the monstrous fish, the king of herrings. In all its glory, oarfish are typically found at depths of about 656 feet, but can lurk as deep as about 3,280 feet, according to the Florida Museum of Natural History, in the deep seas of the eastern Atlantic Ocean and Mediterranean Sea. The origin of the oarfish name is unknown, but because of its long, thin shape, the oarfish is sometimes known as a ribbon fish. These fish are also known for their striking appearance, with their long, ribbon-like bodies and bright red dorsal fins that run the length of their backs. Their shimmering, silver scales make them look almost otherworldly, adding to their reputation as mythical sea creatures. Oarfish are filter feeders, primarily consuming plankton, krill, and other small organisms, which they capture using their specialized gill rakers. Despite their size, they are harmless to humans and are considered gentle giants of the deep sea. Scientists are still learning about their behavior and life cycle, as sightings of live oarfish in their natural habitat are extremely rare. Some researchers believe that oarfish may be sensitive to seismic activity, as there have been reports of increased sightings before earthquakes, though this theory remains unproven. Even though it's a deep-water species, it's not too uncommon to see an oarfish. These long, silver creatures have been known to wash ashore on beaches after storms. They also have a habit of floating near the surface of the water when they're sick or dying. Because of this, it's believed that the oarfish may be responsible for many of the legendary sightings of sea monsters and sea serpents by ancient mariners and beachgoers. But the oarfish is thriving and not considered to be an endangered species. Number 2. Ocean sunfish. The ocean sunfish is a very large, oddly sun-shaped fish that gets its name from its habit of floating on its side, warming itself at the sea surface, enjoying the hot rays of the sun. It is the heaviest bony fish in the world, reaching weights of over 5,000 pounds, and the distance from the top of the dorsal fin to the bottom can be as much as 14 feet. Ocean sunfish are foraging predators that will eat a variety of food, but their preferred prey are jellyfish, which are almost exclusively made up of water and are low in calories and nutrients. To compensate for their low-energy diet, sunfish consume jellyfish in massive quantities, sometimes eating hundreds in a single day. Their unique body shape, which lacks a true tail, makes them slow swimmers, but they are surprisingly agile when evading predators. Sunfish are often mistaken for floating debris or even sharks due to their large dorsal fins, which can stick out of the water as they bask near the surface. Despite their size, they are gentle giants and pose no threat to humans, making them a favorite sight for divers and snorkelers. Sunfish are also known to host a variety of parasites on their skin, which they try to remove by basking at the surface or visiting cleaning stations where smaller fish nibble them off. In some regions, seabirds have been observed landing on sunfish to peck at the parasites, creating a fascinating example of mutualism in the ocean. But the smaller sunfish are a favorite meal of sea lions, killer whales, and large sharks. But of course, there's always one sea creature with an unusual sense of humor. California sea lions are known to bite the fins off a small ocean sunfish and then play with them like they're frisbees. Really, guys? Really? Number 1. Japanese spider crab. The Japanese spider crab is a large and strange catch for any fisherman. With a leg span of 13 feet and an average weight of around 40 pounds, it wins the title of largest crab. It's important to note that this creature really is mostly legs, with its body only reaching about 1.5 feet across in size. But that's what makes their appearance so terrifying. When you're the biggest crab in the sea and you only have a few predators out there to worry about, what do you decide to eat? Well, the answer is pretty much anything smaller than you. They're not exactly hunters, but these crabs have been known to eat algae, kelp, mollusks, slow-moving invertebrates, and the dead bodies of any creatures that happen to be floating around. In fact, they seem to prefer to scavenge dead flesh rather than kill things themselves. And to avoid predators like octopuses, they're known to be a type of decorator crab, picking up things from their environment, like sponges and kelp, to attach to their bodies in order to appear like another part of the ocean floor. However, their legs are pretty weak and can break easily. About 3/4 of these crabs that have been caught were missing a limb. But that's just fine for these crabs. They can quite happily survive while missing up to 3 of their limbs, as if nothing at all had happened. What's more is that there is evidence that these guys can actually regenerate their legs on their own. So even if one goes missing, they're likely to regrow a fresh one over the next few years. Those were 15 of the biggest sea monsters ever. What do you think about these creatures? Let us know in the comments below. See you next time.